Hello chickens and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you've read the title, then you know it's about to get serious around here, okay? It's about to get serious. And you know it's mega serious when I've got a fat cup of tea and I've got a fat packet of M&S milk chocolate sandwich fingers, which are getting dunked straight in that cuppa, okay? I need to get ready for the day and I thought what a perfect time to do a chatty interrogation of you. I am joking, it's not going to be that serious. But I really do think there is so much self-love content, okay, out on the internet. And the majority of it is just kind of just saying, love yourself. And it's like, all right, but like how? Who, what, why, when and where? Do you know what I mean? Like I don't know how to. And based on my analysis in the game of self-love, okay, nothing helps you build lasting self-love more than asking hard-hitting questions. And if you actually think about it, things like podcasts have blown up so much because everybody loves what comes from asking questions. Why does therapy work so much? Because that is essentially you just being asked a ton of hard questions. So the best way to create change in life is to ask questions. Like the hard-hitting questions, they are what lead to self-love, not just someone on Instagram telling you better love yourself, love your roles. I know I do that as well, but I'm trying to give you a bit more substance, you know what I mean? And I thought, what perfect time to do it than getting ready for the day. I haven't got any skincare on yet, so we're going to do a little bit of skincare, then I'm going to put your makeup on with you, and we're just going to chat through, okay? And I'm going to say some questions. Also, I'm going to talk about the questions, but put this on in the background, make a cup of tea, do your work or whatever, and when you hear the questions, I want you to think really deeply what your answer would be to them questions. Okay. Because this video is about to change your life. I might be being a bit dramatic, but you've got to be delusional, I guess. I'm starting off with this essence toner from Ren. This, you might have seen it in my last vlog. I started using it then and I have not put it down since. I absolutely love it. It smells like babies, like I said in my last vlog. So, you know, I am preggers, so maybe that's why I like it. And it's for sensitive skin and it just feels unreal. Okay, so you're probably wondering why my say has any relevance. Well, if you follow me on Instagram, TikTok, you'll know the journey that I've been on. I'm a self-love queen, okay? Self-proclaimed, obviously. But a little bit of real talk for you here. My whole life, I've hated myself, okay? And the only time I haven't hated myself is now. And it's probably, in terms of like physical attributes, it's probably the biggest I've ever been. And I'm the happiest I've ever been. I went through a stage of getting bullied at school for being one of the bigger girls, which led me to, it's so sad I could literally cry when I think about it, but when we would get changed for PE, I would get changed in the toilet because I would refuse to let anybody see me without clothes on, and the thought of it, and girls would laugh when I took my t-shirt off and things like that. So, and now I have an Instagram page where I literally take photos in my underwear of my roles. So if you want to see a bit of progression, that's my progression. So I went from hiding completely to exposing myself more than the average person. Okay, so that's your reasons to believe why I think these questions are really important for you to answer and why I know they will really help you reflect and be a better person. I think it's time. The thing is, and I don't know if anyone's the same, a tea drinker. I'm a tea drinker, just English breakfast tea, okay? I love to dunk my biscuits in it, but I also like sweet tea. And the second I dunk a biscuit in it and eat the biscuit, the tea isn't sweet anymore. So I usually wait to the end of my tea to start dunking, but I'm too excited. Now I'm pregnant and I should be eating really healthy, okay? If any of you said that, leave, because I don't want to hear it, okay? Oh my God, look at that. Perfection. My skin's been so dry since pregnancy, so I'm going in with a Bioma hydrating serum. This is nice and gentle and just everything I need right now on my skin. If you're wondering why loving yourself and being that confident it girl is important, it's mainly because of this. You can only be hurt by the things that you believe. And that is honestly, that is apparent in so much of life if you actually think about it. Like if someone come up to you and said, ugh, I hate your hair, it looks green. And you look in the mirror and you're like, my hair isn't green. Is that going to hurt you? No, because you'll be like, well, for starters, my hair's jet black. When you don't believe something, it's really hard to be hurt by it. When I was in school and getting called fat, that would hurt me because I thought that I was fat. People call me fat every day now on my channel. Does it hurt me? No, because I know that I'm not fat. All right, I'm getting a little bit bigger because I have a baby in my belly. All right, that's a given. But I know that I'm not. I'm just a normal looking girl. I'm not perfect, but I don't have any health issues. I'm not, you know, dangerously overweight. So I don't really care. Just, it's water off a duck's back. Do you know what I mean? So that's why it's really important that you get to the point where you're the it girl and it can't hurt you because you don't believe it. Because at the minute I feel like you believe it, don't you? My first question. I'm going to put a little bit of the Ola Hendrickson Hydra Face Barrier on. It's like a face oil and I just need the extra hydration. Okay. Do you believe that everyone around you loves you and is proud of who you are? Why I'm asking this is because you can't love yourself if you have people around you who don't even love you. To put it blankly, sometimes you won't even realise that a lot of the people around you aren't even your biggest supporter. So how do you feel like you're going to have the confidence to stand up and be your own biggest supporter if the people around you that are meant to love you are sort of side-eyeing you and maybe not fully wanting the best for you? Is there anyone that's coming to mind right now? Because if so, see ya. See ya. I'm just going to pop on a bit of a Centella cream from Erborian. It's just like a moisturiser. All these next questions, they kind of bleed into the same topic, but they're good to think about. Do you have any friends that you aspire to be like? Who are the people that you hang around with? Because an interesting fact is you are the people you spend most of your time with. And I'm not saying if you've got friends that are insecure and shy, you need to go and ditch them all. That is not what I mean at all. I'm a loyal girly, okay? We stick with our friends. But when I look around at my friends, who I'm around all the time, I'm going out with, they're all really confident in themselves, in who they are. They stand up for themselves. None of them are cripplingly insecure. They're all really self-assured girls and I am continuously around them. We all have our moments, like don't get me wrong, we're girls at the end of the day. We're all going to be moaning about our bodies or be like, oh, we don't feel good at the minute, and we all have waves. But overall, I'm surrounded by really confident, happy girls. Do you think you could say the same? I think that's really something to think about because, like I said, who you're around, you become. Now, I'm not saying go and ditch your friends if they're shy and insecure, because just team up. Let's team up. Let's do this together. Let's watch this video together, okay? Let's build each other up. But I'm saying that could actually be having an effect on how confident you actually are if you feel like the people around you aren't. My last bit of skincare is a Beauty of Joe's and it's their SPF. Another question I really want you to ask yourself, when I feel most myself, most confident, most happy, who's in the room with me? Kind of links on to the friend conversation. But sometimes we forget the facts are usually there. Like, who are you most yourself around? Who brings out the best in you? Because you probably could answer that question. It might just be one person, or it might be a group of people. But who is that person and why? Why do you feel most confident around them? Why are you most yourself around them? Why are you most happy around them? Is it because you think they authentically love you for you? So think about who that might be, why that might be, and try and replicate that a little bit more, or who that type of person is. Gravitate more towards them type of people because they're obviously people that make you feel really happy and really confident. I'm moving on to my makeup now. I'm using an Anastasia Beverly Hills brow pen. These ones are just elite. I'm sorry, you just can't go wrong with these. Feels quite old school, you know? My next question, which might hit some people hard, others not. Are you happy in your relationship? I know, it's bold of me to insert myself in your relationship like this, but if you aren't happy in your relationship, a thing that you're in every single day and around every single day, you have no chance in being happy in yourself. I'm sorry to admit it, but you actually have no chance. You see these girls when they come out of these relationships that they were so unhappy in, and you see them glow and they flourish and they just get so like large of life. That's because the weight of that relationship was just pushing them down, and no one can be their happy best self when they're in a relationship that doesn't make them happy. So is your relationship authentically making you happy? Are you with the right person? Are you coasting along because you don't know how to, break their heart? It's really important for your partner, girl or boy, that he or she is lifting you up, making you feel confident, similar to the friend situation, making you feel confident and like you can be your best self. You know what I mean? And if they're not, see ya. I think it's time. Are you ready, guys? This is my mini mukbang. Is it mukbang? What even does that mean? Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Get yourself to M&S, please. If you like biscuits, oh my god. Look at that juicy girl. I'm not going to pop her though. I think I'm just going to put a patch on her later. If there is one thing in this world, okay, that I convince you to buy, because I know, I know, I'm in the world, influencers are so insufferable. Because why are they telling me to buy everything on the planet? Not everything on the planet can be that good, okay? Not every product that comes out is groundbreaking, jaw-dropping, swipe-stopping, okay? It's lies. However, I'm an honest person. One thing I tell you to buy, to just have in your makeup bag, okay? One thing I beg of thee, that is this. I use this every single day of my life. It's Erborian CC Red Correct, okay? You've probably seen it online, let's be real. It comes out green, and you just rub it in. Listen, if you want thick foundation, then don't buy this. Like, I'm not going to kid ya, it's not thick foundation, but it's like a second sort of skin that goes on that's just a bit smoother. And everyone, I will say, every single girl that I've told to buy this, like in my family, friendship group, all the time, they're like, have you got any of that Arborian left? You got any of that Arborian left? They're like addicts, okay? You just rub it in, you can barely see it, and it just smooths. I might need to put a bit more in. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. My next question is actually one of my most favourite because it honestly is really hard hitting for me. And it is one of the ones that stopped me in my tracks when I thought about it. So think about your insecurity. Let's say it's, I don't know, the shape of your lips. I don't know. You don't like the shape of them or the size of them or whatever. How would you feel if you birthed a daughter and her lips were the same? How would you feel? How would you feel if something you've hated all your life is suddenly sitting there on this beautiful thing that you've created? Do you think you'd feel different about it? I know I would. And I know this is true because I've seen a lot of videos online where maybe girls like have a little bump in their nose and then they show a picture or like a video of their baby and their baby has a little bump in their nose and they're like, how have I ever hated this thing about myself? Sometimes all it takes is a perspective shift, and that is a really big perspective shift when you see something you love with something that you are meant to hate. Now, I know not everybody wants to have children and that might not be an appealing thought to everyone, but it's not so much I'm telling you to go and have children and wait until that happens. I'm telling you to try and put your mind into the thinking of a mother and try to think about how you would feel seeing it on someone you love. Because I guarantee you wouldn't be hating on it much anymore, because how could you? I am very big on like mixing up my concealers, so I'm using Charlotte Tilbury. This is, well, I don't know if you'd say it was new now. Is that focusing? It's their airbrush concealer. It's so good. And then I mix it with a light Arborian. Well, I don't mix them together. I just do 2 layers under my eyes. I'll show you. So I do a light one in here, just for a little bit of extra glow. And a little dot here, a little dot here. And then sometimes I might dot these over some bigger, maybe some bigger spots or patches I want to cover maybe. And then I get my Charlotte Tilbury, which is a darker shade, and I just go underneath. So there's a nice little blend. So my next thought that I want you to have, is there someone either like online or in your life, it's probably going to be online, let's be real, that has something that you have that you're insecure about, but on them, you find it okay? I even have them. Maybe you follow like a fashion girly who's like mid-size or something, or like has the same stomach as you and you think she's beautiful, but for some reason on you it just isn't. Well, essentially for this one, I want to urge you to think why. Because obviously you don't have a problem with the actual thing, you've got a problem with you. So it's not your nose or your belly you're insecure about, you just don't like you. Because if you didn't like a belly pooch, you wouldn't like it on anyone. And if you think about it, how unfair is it that you can love something on someone else's body, but if you have it, you're disgusting? Don't you find that crazy? Like, that's just like, take yourself out of it. That's just mean, isn't it? Realistically, the facts are, if that girl over there has a belly pouch and she's on a beach and she looks great, the truth is, you can do exactly the same if you've got a belly pooch. There's really no difference. Now, what I'm about to say next, I think it might shock you, and you need to really listen to what I'm going to say before you jump the gun and judge what I'm about to say, okay? Because there's logic behind it. Is there anything about yourself that you're really insecure about and you've been insecure about for a really long time that you could potentially fix? Now, I know what you're thinking, what I just said, like, what? Are you telling me to go and get surgery? Like, isn't that like kind of the opposite of this video? That isn't exactly what I'm saying, but let me explain. I personally think there is a place for fixing certain insecurities depending on why you're doing them. In my opinion, if you have an insecurity that you want to fix and you're not fixing it so that you can walk into a crowd of people and be loved more or just look better to other people, if you have an insecurity you want to fix for you, I honestly think you should do it. And you can't sneakily pretend that it's for you when it's actually not. Because believe me, if it wasn't for you and you go and get that procedure done or you change that hair colour or whatever, and if you did it for other people, I guarantee doing that and making that change, that hole will not be filled. So you'll make the change and you'll still feel the same. And that's when you know that you didn't do it for you did it for other people, okay? because you didn't fix yourself inside. You fixed a problem on the outside, but it'll be very hard to mentally change the reason you tried to fix it in the first place, which would be for other people. Now I'm waffling a bit. Let me use an example. So I had really bad acne, and from that acne, you won't be able to tell, or you might be able to tell, I have like pothole scars. So they're essentially scars that are like little holes that sink into your face. Do I care what people think about them? Absolutely not. Am I bothered to have them out? Not really. No, I don't care what anybody thinks of my scars. I had chronic acne, okay? These scars are nothing. However, will one day I get laser to sort them out? Yeah, I will. And the reason I do that is for me, because sometimes I don't like the way my makeup sits with holes in my face. Sometimes when the sun is shining on me, I don't love that my face isn't very smooth. I feel like I went through acne. It was really, really hard. Now I deserve to come out on the other side, you know? So I'll go get laser at some point, not because I want to get rid of it because I'm worried about what other people think about me, because I don't care. That is an example of making a change when it's solely for you. If I went and got laser because I was scared about what people thought of me, the scars could be gone and I'll just move on to the next thing that I think people are looking at me about, because I'm not healed inside, and it wasn't a choice for my heart, it was a choice for other people to be happy, okay? I say fix like people need to be fixed, and even that has annoyed me that I've said fix. I don't mean that. I mean, if you want to make a little change, okay? It could be a really tiny thing or it could be a big thing, but it's up to you. Time for my favourite part. For blush, I'm going with a Charlotte Tilbury. This blush is the Unreal Blush Healthy Glow Stick. It's a really lovely colour. I've got blush blindness and I don't care. Next question I want you to ask yourself, what clothes do you wear daily? I know you're thinking, why are you asking me what clothes I wear daily? It is really important, and this is one that I'm still learning, but I just know by the way it makes me feel that it's 100% the truth. Are you wearing clothes on a daily basis that actually make you feel good, or are you just putting on any old Tom, Dick and Harry that's comfortable and closest to you? Because I do that, okay? And then I look in the mirror and I wonder why I'm like, okay? When my leggings are bagging around my knees, I've got a t-shirt with an egg stain on it, and I'm wearing odd socks. And I wonder why sometimes I look in the mirror and I'm like, man, like, what is going on with you? Well, I'll tell you what's going on with you. You're not dressing well. And if you're a work from home girly like me, you know this one is so hard, because why am I getting dressed up to sit in my front room? Now, I'm not saying you need to wear a ball gown every day, because I would never do that. But I'm saying, even if you get yourself 3 little, if you do work from home, little loungewear sets that are giving something, okay, giving more than the crusty t-shirt that you have on now and the crusty leggings with a hole in it, okay? I know you feel personally victimised, so do I, believe me, honey. But I'm trying to be truthful to you because it really does help. Now, we go on ASOS, we go on, I don't know, Boohoo, PLT, whatever, that it doesn't have to be expensive, okay? A little stripy lounge set, 3 of them, however many days you're at home, to make sure that when you're even just chilling at home, when you walk past the mirror, you still feel good. Because if you're not going out and you're dressing the majority of your days like a slob, let's be real, like, then you're going to feel like one. That's actually the truth. You will feel the way you look, okay? So deeply think about that. How do you dress on a day-to-day basis? My next question I want you to ask yourself, okay? Really think about this one. How often do you treat yourself? Now, I'm not necessarily saying how often do you go and get a full body massage, because we can all agree they're a treat. I'm talking more like, if there's a new blusher that you like, how often do you actually allow yourself to go out and buy that blusher? If there's a top that you think is really cute, how often do you allow yourself to buy that top? Now, I know money comes into this question a lot, but I do think we have a tendency sometimes to not ever allow ourselves to have certain things. Obviously, there might be girls on here that are absolute shopaholics and splasher outers, okay? Them girls do exist. I'm not one of them girls, okay? If I look at something, I'm like, do I really need that? Like, even if it's like I said, a new blush or something I've wanted to be trying, I'm always giving myself an excuse or a reason to not buy it. But if it's someone else, I'll splash out on them. But I struggle to like treat myself. But what I'm saying is giving yourself a little bit of space to buy a new little blusher if you like the look of it on a video you've seen, or get a new body scrub. In terms of how them little things make you feel, especially when you're a girly girl, if you're a girly girl like me, they go a really long way when it comes to keeping your spirits up, feeling the self-love. Everybody loves when they get like a new bit of makeup or something like that. If you're into makeup, that is, not everyone is. And it's not just makeup. I don't know, maybe you love teacups, okay? And you always see lovely teacups you want to buy, and you just are always making excuses as to why you shouldn't buy it for yourself. Stop it, okay? Maybe I'm a bad influence, actually. I just sort of like stepped back and heard myself, and I'm just trying to convince you all to rinse your banks. Whoops. But listen, you know what I mean, okay? I just want you to think how often it is that you spend your hard-earned cash on you, okay? Solely you. For a little treat that you have wanted, okay? How often? Are you doing it often enough to be loving yourself, okay? To say you're a self-love queen? Because if you're doing it once a year, you're not in the self-love club, okay? Because we're doing it daily, weekly, okay? I have had this highlighter for years. It's Anastasia Beverly Hills, and I'm actually yet to find a highlighter that matches it for me. It's subtle and beautiful, but also so shiny. A lot of highlighters these days, it's like sticking glitter on your face. Like, they're just not even nice. This is really just like a beautiful shimmer. Look at my nose. If you're hanging on by the skin of your teeth, darling, we're really near the end. Don't worry, I'm not gonna ask you so many more questions. This is a question that you'll probably end up asking yourself a lot after I say it, okay? Because this is a good one to ask yourself in the moments where you're actually being horrible to yourself. And that is, was you born with this belief, or have you learnt it? It's cringe that it's silent in here, you know, no one's cheering. But yeah, that one hits for me because I'm like, if you actually deep it, none of us are born with this hatred that we have for ourselves. We are born, unless you maybe were a shy kid, I don't know, some kids are shy, but in the early years, most kids are like, wah! Like they just like absolutely just love themselves for who they are. We learn to hate ourselves, okay? So when you're being really mean and nasty to yourself, or you're saying something, say to yourself maybe, was I born thinking this? Or have I learnt it? And if you've learnt it, then cringe, unlearn it, okay? Unlearn it. We want a factory reset back to when we were 2 years old, okay? Because we were all a lot happier, believe you me. Another question to ask yourself when you're being a bitch to yourself is, how would I feel if my best friend was saying this about herself? Or how would I feel if my little sister was saying this about herself? Guarantee the answer every single time will be, I'm gonna get up in her face and I'm gonna say, you say that one more time. Maybe I'm a bit more aggressive than the average person because that might not be everyone's response. I'm aware of that, but that would be mine, okay? Like I wouldn't have it, so why am I having it with me? Two more. Charlotte Tilbury, Pillow Talk, lip gloss. Iconic. I forgot to tell you, this is a Wonder Skin lip pencil. It stays on really well, okay? So the penultimate question I want you to think about and ask yourself is, can you tell me why you deserve to be unhappy for the rest of your life because of the way you look? No, I'm actually asking you, can you tell me? I think right now, can you actually tell me something that's valid and acceptable as to why you should feel like you have to hate yourself your whole life because you don't like the way you look, or an aspect of the way you look? If you can't answer it or convince me, okay, then how's about there isn't any? How's about we settle on the idea that there just isn't an answer for that because you shouldn't be? Okay, so I want that to keep going around in your mind. Hold on a minute, I can't actually think of a valid reason. I don't actually know. Well, then obviously it's not true then, is it? Then obviously there is no valid reason as to why you should be unhappy for the rest of your life because your belly sticks out a bit. Okay, that's your answer. So stop it. This is ended as I've perfectly finished my routine. Finishing with Charlotte Tilbury setting spray, obviously, because it's elite. And this is the last step to me getting ready for the day. Okay, I'm about to hit you with a banger, all right? When you're 100 years old, okay, and I'm going to say 100 because we're all living to that age, all right? I'm manifesting it. When you're 100, yeah, wrapped up in your bed, as a little old lady, and you're thinking back to your life. Oh, old memories. Do you think you're going to look back at all these years you've not gone to that swimming pool, or not taken your top off at the beach, or you know, felt insecure the whole time you were at a party because your dress was a bit tight. Do you think little old you in that bed all snuggled up is going to look back at that and think, yeah, that was definitely the best way I lived my life. That was definitely a good choice, really good choice there. Or do you think that little old lady would go, what an idiot, what an idiot. Why did I waste that time where I was thriving, running around, partying on a beach, caring about what the hell I looked like? Okay, which one do you think it's going to be? Which answer? Do you think you're going to be really happy about that, or do you think you're going to be really gutted about that? I'm going to leave that question ambiguous. Okay, I'm going to let you answer that one yourself because I know I've been sort of saying questions and then answering them for you. I'm going to leave that one as my mic drop. Okay? Whew. God, being a therapist is hard. And that is the end of the video, guys. That is the end of the intense questioning. Really sorry about that, but I just really need to try and shift your mindset, okay? And as we said in the beginning, the best way to shift a mindset is to ask questions. Ask questions to yourself, okay? And there's some of the questions that I asked myself that changed my life, okay? So hopefully they're going to change yours, okay, honey? But that'd be real nice, wouldn't it? That'd be real nice if we can both be on a beach. We can both take our t-shirts off and we both just, we just love ourselves so much, okay? Okay, darling. Well, I'm now ready for the day. I'm not actually going anywhere special. I'm literally going to get my nails done and meet my sister for a coffee. But I'm feeling a lot cuter than when I first got on this camera, okay? I don't even want to see that beginning footage because I was really feeling a type of way. But, you know, I'm allowed to. I'm pregnant. So, yeah, I'm hormonal and I'm up and down. If you did make it to the end of the video, then well done. Well done, because I did just chat to your face, at your face for a really long time by the looks of the length of this video. Okay, so you're a real trooper if you've got to the end, all right? Thank you for watching and I'll see you in my next one. Okay, darling?